Okay. Dear students, we are in the BCom second year, fourth semester, income tax subject. So, in the previous classes, we have discussed about direct and indirect taxes, canons of taxation, features and history of income tax in India, definitions and basic concepts of income tax. In this definition and basic concepts, we have discussed assessee, deemed assessee, and assessee in default. Not only that, we have discussed about assessment year, previous year, and who is a person according to Income Tax Act. And agricultural income, what is agricultural income? Three basic conditions we have seen. And what is non-agricultural income? What are the examples of agricultural income we have seen? And heads of income. See how many heads are there according to Income Tax Act? How many heads are there?
Five, sir.
Very good. 5 heads of income are there. I am mentioning, please remember, income from salaries, income from house property, income from business or profession, then income from capital gains, and fifth one is income from other sources. These 5 you should remember forever. Okay. Now, in the previous class, we have learnt about gross total income. Gross total income means these 5 heads income you will add, and that is your gross total income. And from that total income, gross total income, you are going to deduct amount that is admissible under section 80C to 80U. In the previous class, we have learned it. From 80C, section 80C to 80U, various exemptions are provided for assessees by the income tax department. That we have learned in the previous class. Okay. So not only that, so gross total income, incomes exempt from tax. These 3 we have discussed in the previous class. Now today, and simple problems we will do on residential status. See, when you apply for scholarship or when you apply for conduct certificate or when you apply for native certificate, see, they will ask residence proof, residence certificate they will ask. Suppose not only that, see, when there is a gap in your study, means there is a gap between intermediate and degree joining period, the scholarship authorities will ask you for residence certificate. So what do you mean by residence? What is the meaning of residence? Yes, what is the meaning of residence? Can anybody? Residence means where you are living, where you are residing, where is your house. It is a proof. So in India, even foreigners have to pay tax in some cases. So payment of tax does not depend on citizenship in our country. Even though you are an Indian citizen or a foreign citizen, it does not make any difference. In certain cases, even a foreign person, even a foreign citizen has to pay tax. So your payment of tax depends upon your residential status. Means how many days you resided in India. Even though a foreigner may come to India and he can stay in our country during the last week, that is during the last year, that is previous year. In that case also, he in certain cases, he has to pay tax. Last year, a foreigner came to our country. He stayed here for 300 days. Based on calculations, he has to pay tax. So residential status is very, very important in calculation of income tax. If you are an Indian citizen, you have to pay certain tax. If you are a foreign citizen, you have to pay certain amount as tax. That is why residential status is important, not the citizenship in our country for calculation of tax. Did you understand? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will see certain conditions are there. What are they? We will see. See all these topics we discussed. Residential status. See, So that is what I mentioned. Tax incidence. Tax incidence implies payment of tax that depends on an assessee's residential status. Is he a resident or is he a non-resident? It depends. If he is a resident means he has to pay more tax. If he is a non-resident means he has to pay less amount as tax in certain cases. Okay. So the calculation part we will do now. How to determine whether a person is resident in India or is a non-resident in India. Okay. See, as you all know, different taxable entities are there in our country. That is, individual has to pay. Individual will act as SSC in certain conditions. Hindu undivided family will act as SSC in certain conditions. A firm or an association of persons will act as SSC, and a joint stock company or every other person who is established by certain legal formalities, means SBI, ICICI, or any courts or any municipalities or local governments, they're all assessees. They have to pay tax. Okay, but we will confine our discussion to determination of residential status in case of individual. How it is determined? We will have to learn certain rules regarding residential status that you have to note down. That is why I asked you to sit with notes and pen. See, residential status depends on certain conditions, and see, for a person can be termed as a resident as well as a non-resident based on the number of days he stayed in our country during the previous year and during the last some years. Okay, it depends on the number of days he stayed in our country. Okay, again, resident is also divided into two types: ordinary resident, not ordinary resident. There are certain conditions you have to note down, and we will do some simple problems. Okay, in this class and in subsequent classes. But first of all, you note down this residential status, resident and non-resident. Again, residentship is divided into ordinarily resident and not ordinarily resident. So based on that, an individual has to pay tax. If he is a resident means he has to pay more tax. If he is a non-resident means he has to pay less amount as tax. So that is important. In calculation, we have to check whether that person is a resident or non-resident. Is it clear? Did you draw this division? Residential status of individual. This division you draw first: residential status, resident, non-resident. Ordinarily resident, not ordinarily resident. Is it over? Shall we move?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I am moving to the next part. Conditions we will see. See, today we will discuss about primary conditions. Based on primary conditions, we will do problems. In the next class, we will discuss about secondary conditions. Two set of conditions are there to determine, assess his position, whether he is a resident or non-resident. Okay. See, first of all, you note down primary conditions. You put side heading as primary conditions. Under section 6 of 1. Section 6, subsection 1. There are two primary conditions. See, first condition is two conditions. In each set, two conditions are there. In primary conditions, two conditions are there. In secondary conditions, two conditions are there. See, primary condition, number 1, please note down. An individual is said to be resident in India if he is in India for a period of 182 days or more during the previous year. This is the first condition. Means during the last year, that is during the last financial year, that is during the last previous year, he should be in India for at least 182 days. We will calculate 182 days, whether he is staying or not, he stayed or not, we have to calculate. During the last 1 year, means during the last previous year, that starts from April 1st to March 31st. It ends on March 31st. So during that year, whether he stayed in India for at least 182 days or not, we have to calculate. That is first condition. Is it clear? Did you note down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second condition in the primary conditions, he is in India for a period of 60 days or more during the previous year. You have to check it. And secondly, for a period of 365 days or more in the 4 years preceding previous years, relevant to previous year. So you note down this, what is the meaning, how it is applicable. When you do problem, you will come to know about it clearly. Okay, first condition is in the primary conditions, last year he should be in, last year means previous year, he should be in India for at least 182 days. Second condition is, in second condition, 2 A, B are there. In the previous year, he should be in India for at least 60 days. And during the last 4 years before previous year, he should be in India for at least 365 days. For at least 365 days. Okay. Please note down, when you do problem, we will come to know about it. You need not worry. We will do at least 5-6 problems. You can understand clearly then. Okay, put side heading, primary conditions. These two you note down. These 2 conditions you note down. We will discuss about secondary conditions in the next class. So you give half-page gap. Based on primary conditions, we will do one problem now. Is it clear? Have you noted down?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Now, is the document clear to you? Did you see the document? No. Okay, I will show now, please. Did you see the document now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am increasing its size. Now you note down this problem. Is it clear? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, right. Now you note down this problem. Sri, I am changing the name for easy calculation. Sri a citizen of India, left to Japan on 2nd February 2020. Please note down, I am reading aloud so that you can write. Sri a citizen of India, left to Japan on 2/2/2020. Determine his residential status as resident or non-resident for the assessment year 2020-2021. We have to solve this problem. Please note down. So Sri A is the assessee here. He went to Japan on 2nd February. Till then he stayed here, no? Till 2nd February 2020, he stayed in our country only. So now, have you noted down? Have you noted down the problem?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you see, you should be clear as to what is assessment year. Assessment year is given 2020, 2021 is the assessment year. What is the previous year?
1920, sir.
1920, sir.
Very good.
1920, sir.
Very good. Very good. Previous year is 2019, 2020. This is the period we have to check whether he is in India or not. See, to check whether he is a resident or non-resident, primary conditions verification is enough. If he satisfied any of the two conditions, he is a resident, that's all. See, first condition I mentioned in the previous year, how many days? Condition A you read, somebody please read. He should be in our country for at least 182 days. That is the first condition. No?
182 days.
Condition is, number one is 182 days, no?
Yes, sir.
Now we have to check whether he stayed in our country for 182 days or not. 182. This is condition A, primary condition. And second, B, condition B is also there. During the last year, he should stay in India for at least 60 days. Is it correct? Is it correct? And
Yes.
during the last
Yes, sir.
4 years, earlier to previous year, he should have stayed in our country for 365 days. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
For
Yes.
previous years, he should have stayed in our country for 365 days. What 4 years means? 4 years. 4 years earlier to 2019-20 means 2018-19 and then 2017-18
2019.
and 2016
17.
17 and next 2015
15.
16.
15, 16.
During these 4 years, he should have stayed in our country for 365 days. In the previous year, he should have stayed 60 days. And prior to 4 years period of the previous year, that is 2019-20, before that period, 2019-20, before the 2019-20, in 18-19, 17-18, 16-17, 15-16, in the 4 years together, he must have stayed in our country for at least 365 days. In these two conditions, if he satisfies at least one condition, then he is a normal citizen. He is a resident, that's all. He is a resident. So we have to check. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, we will do it now. See how? See, you just read the problem once. He left to Japan on 2020. So till then, our previous year started on 1st April 2020, no, 1/4/2020. In April, he is, sorry, 1/4/2019. Okay, our previous year is 1920, no. So on 1/4/2019, he is in India only from then onwards. In April, how many days are there? You check. In April, how many days are there in a calendar year?
31, sir.
31st, sir.
No, you see, April is only 30 days. You see
30 days,
properly.
sir.
In April, 30 days. See how to check. I am showing here. You see, you just put your arm like this, fingers like this. You calculate. See, if it is upwards means it is 31 days. If low means 30 days. See, January upwards 31 days. February low means, February means 28 days normally. March upwards means 30 days. So 31 days. April, it went low, means it is 30 days only. May 31. June, it went low, 30 only. So July 31. Again, August also, you should start from here only. Means this is July 31, August also 31. In September, 30 days. October 31. November went inside, means 30. December upside is there, means 31 days. Like that, you can calculate. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So on 1/4/2019 means in the month of April, total he is staying in India only. He stayed in India only. So April total 30 days India only. So then next one is May. May, how many days are there? Just now I showed May 31 days. Okay. After May, June comes. In June, how many days? 30 days. After June, July comes. July, how many days? 31. Then August. In August, how many days?
31.
31. I
31.
showed just now. July and August continuously, consecutively will be 31 days months. Then September, how many days? 30. Then October, how many days?
31.
31. Very good. November, how many days? 30. Then December, how many days?
31.
31. Then you see January. January 2020. How many days? 31. Now next one is, please see February. In the month of February, how many days he is there? You see, you read the problem once. See, he went to
28.
Japan on 2nd February. So in the month of February, how many days he stayed in India? Only
days.
2 days he stayed, that's all. On 2nd he went. Okay, so for February, you have to take as only 2 days. Is it clear? Is there any doubt?
No, sir. Clear.
Okay, now you can see. See, now you have to add all these. How many days he stayed in our country in the previous year, we can calculate. Okay, so I am adding, you just see. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 2, 8. So here I am writing 8. Okay. Then next, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9 plus 3, 12 plus 3, 15 plus 3, 18 plus 3, 21 plus 3, 24 plus 3, 27 plus 3, 300. So he stayed in our country during the previous year. For how many days? 308 days he stayed. Is it clear? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Now you can see. See, in the two conditions, first condition is satisfied. No, we need not check, go for second condition. First condition, what is it? During the previous year, he should stay in our country for minimum 182 days. How many days he stayed? 308 days he stayed.
180.
So he is a resident only, no, automatically. You need not check
Yes, sir.
second condition. Out of these two conditions, you only one condition is enough. If he does not satisfy this condition, you have to go to this condition. He satisfied this condition itself, no? You need not go to next condition. Is it clear? In these two
sir.
conditions, one condition is enough to tell that a person, an assessee, is resident in India. So he satisfied first condition itself. He stayed for more than 182 days. In fact, he stayed for 308 days in our country. So you can say that he is a resident in our country. Is it clear or any doubt is there?
Clear, sir.
Now you have to write like this. Total number of days stayed in India. I capital we should keep. In India. In India is more than 182 days. Hence, his residential status is what we have to mention? Resident. Resident, that's all. Is it clear? Like this, you have to write. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, this is the problem. You can note down. or I am going to upload in YouTube now, then you note down. Once you open it and you check it and you note down, there is no problem. Okay. See, once I am going back to this, that is our conditions I will show once. Afterwards also you can note down, no problem. Okay. You open the YouTube and you note down the problem. See, now I will go to our this. Once we will check the conditions once. See, in the conditions, are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, okay. Now you can see. See, here it is clearly mentioned. That is why I told, when you complete one problem, you will be able to understand it clearly. See, if assessee satisfies any one of these two conditions, he will be resident in India. In case of primary conditions, you see, in our problem, he has satisfied first condition itself. No, he is in India for more than 182 days. Then you need not check the second condition. If he does not satisfy first condition, you have to go to second condition. But in our problem, he satisfied first condition itself. So you need not check the second condition. Is it clear? Did you understand? See, in two primary conditions, assessee will be resident if he satisfies at least one condition in these two primary conditions. One condition is enough to satisfy. He is in India for the 308 days in the previous year. So that is why you need not go to second condition. That is why I did not check the second condition. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what I will do is, okay. See, you can note down this problem afterwards also. Okay. Because I am uploading in YouTube. Don't waste time in noting. You simply listen to the class. If you are unable to understand, you ask me again. Okay. Now, one problem I will give as homework. You note down, and in the next class, that is on Monday, no? On Monday, you show to me. You note down this problem. Second problem. Srimati Rekha was born in Mumbai. Srimati Rekha was born in Mumbai on 15/6/1984. Okay. She left India for Australia on 14/3/2019 and never returned. Never returned so far. Determine her residential status as resident or not for the relevant assessment, for the relevant previous year 2019-20. So this is the problem. You note down, you try In the next class, I will explain. Don't worry. Okay, you can see Srimati Rekha was born in, I am reading the problem once. Srimati Rekha was born in Mumbai on 15/6/84. She left India for Australia on 14th March 2019 and never returned so far. Determine her residential status as resident or not for the relevant previous year 2019-20. During 1920 previous year, you have to tell whether she is a resident in India or not. Is it clear? You check two conditions. You check these two conditions. One is whether she stayed in our country during 1920 for 182 days, you check. Secondly, if she does not stay, leave it, come to second condition. That is, last year she has to stay in our country 60 days. And not only that, during the last 4 years prior to previous year, she should have stayed in our country for 365 days. These conditions you check. If first condition itself is satisfied by her, no problem. You need not go to second condition. If first condition is not satisfied, you have to check second condition. If both are not satisfied, then you have to say that she is non-resident. She is a not resident. Or simply she is non-resident. You have to mention like that. In the next class, you show me.